to a production office in the trendy area of East River with views that look out across the city. There are dozens of Korean world's top musicians.
My name's Charlie Sarsfield. I'm a director of music videos.
Video for Lewis Capaldi's comeback single Survive. I swear to God I'll survive. It has so far been watched around 3 million times on YouTube.
My girlfriend can put up a video of a celebrity walking down the street and it can get 7 million views on TikTok in 2 days. But a video that someone spent 50 grand on, I've been in the edit for 2 weeks after, is that success now? And I think TikTok has skewed the sort of like gauge of what's successful on YouTube a lot over the last 5 years, let alone the last 20. You need the consumer to watch something that brings them to the music video. And often the 20-second clip they see on Instagram could be sometimes better than the actual music. And the labels all want as many views as they can get. That means they want stuff that they can continually post for 2 weeks after the song drops that brings people back to the video. In previous times, those clips would just be cut down to the music video, whereas now it's almost like we need exclusive content that lives or is made for these other platforms. I suppose then affects the main product because you have to split your time on set focused on all of these other aspects of it.
But because all of that is changing, is the concept of a music video changing as well?
I'd argue it is, yeah. I think now it's not necessarily about making a video that suits the song necessarily. Sometimes it's how can we grab someone's attention? And in reality, a music video is a glorified performance. So a lot of videos are centered around an artist standing in a position, singing the song and stuff, because budgets are less and less. So now it's like, well, this is all we can really afford.
Charlie says when he first started out in the industry, it was of less than £100,000, which is roughly 130,000 US dollars. But things have changed.
So if the budget's over 100 grand, you can probably stretch that out to 2 days. Whereas now, it's not rare, but budget's over 100 grand, that's kind of where your A-list artists exist, right? So whenever someone's like, oh, well, music videos aren't what they were back in the day, and I'm like, well, to make a music video now is so expensive. Once this whole, you're a signed musician, you need to be a TikToker as well, dies down, everyone will realise that music videos are still just as important.
But how much of this is new? In recent years, TV stations that played music videos exclusively have shut down across Europe and in the US, with even MTV, the world's most recognisable music television network, dramatically reducing its output for, well, music. Associate Professor of Film Studies at East Carolina University and the author of the book Millennials Killed the Video Star, Amanda Klein, argues it's been a downward trend for decades, ever since the concept of a music video first began, and they were played in record stores across North America.
And they would have these big video monitors playing music videos. There were a lot of factors that led to the significance of MTV. One of the big ones was you could finally kind of watch your favorite artist perform. Acts that became very popular were very visually dynamic. Big hair, Duran Duran did so well. Kiss, any kind of shtick. The other thing, of course, is it was just this way to find out what was new in terms of music. For today's youth, it's very different because we did not get to choose when things aired. We didn't get to create a playlist. We were really subject to whatever the programmers wanted.
Budgets used to rival mid-tier Hollywood films. Take Madonna, who has released some of the most expensive. Reportedly, her videos for the songs Express Yourself, Die Another Day, and Bedtime Story all cost more than $5 million US dollars to make.
The other really big factor is the generational shift. So with MTV, it was this captive audience. You would turn it on and hang out. And sometimes you would look and be like, oh, that video, I love this video. And you would stop and you would pay attention. By the time you hit the early 2000s, it's no longer that first generation, that Generation X that MTV was built to cater to. Now we have millennials. And one of the big differences is that the millennial generation is the first to have been raised with the concept of posting online. The idea that your voice is really important, that everybody wants to hear what you have to say. If you're going to watch a music video, at this point, you're likely watching it on your phone. And so you have to think, are you going to sit there for 3.5 minutes and watch an artist's music video? Or maybe you'll go on TikTok and like watch, a short clip of it. So the context for watching a music video has shifted.
Coming up, we're going to hear about the first music video to hit 1 billion views online. Any guesses? It was 2012. It's considered to be one of the first global viral hits, and there was a dance routine. That's on Business Daily from the BBC World Service. I'm Daniel Rosny, and we're hearing from industry insiders on how the streaming era has changed how we consume music and shifted the way record labels make money. We'll hear from South Korea shortly, where it's said music videos are more important than ever. But in other parts of the world, the medium isn't as much of a priority as it used to be.
My name is Samira Leitmanstetter.
Samira is Warner Music's vice president for its regional marketing team in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa.
And it's very much about running international campaigns, multi-market campaigns.
Warner Music is one of the 3 biggest labels in the world. Artists on their roster range from Ed Sheeran to Burna Boy to Coldplay and Dua Lipa.
And we are very much a global company and working a very big diversity of genres.
Because you have such a broad range of genres and a broad range of artists as well at different points in their career, how do you build a fan base in 2025?
The big opportunity is that you have multiple platforms that basically give an artist the opportunity to showcase different aspects of their overall artist identity and brand. It is not only the way they look and their music obviously in the center of it, but it's also very much about the story they want to tell. Actually, a very good example is Alex Warren.
Taking me
Alex Warren has been massively growing over the past year. Amazing story. He started as a creator on TikTok.
I've been told not to make a video about this, but you guys deserve answers. And everyone keeps telling me not to talk about it, and musicians don't do that. And
he was telling his story from living in a car, being homeless basically, and having lost his parents in a very young age.
Alex Warren has nearly 20 million followers and more than 1 billion likes on TikTok alone.
And he connected over this, very sad, stories, but in a quite entertaining way with his audience. So there was a lot of people that experienced the same stories and felt very much represented by him, but also by his music. So it's very much about telling the story and connecting it to the music, and a big opportunity for artists to then tap into this communities. It's not about just like one TikTok hit and then nobody hears of that artist again. It's about building a long-lasting brand.
Because there's a shift in creating a visual brand on social media platforms, does the concept of a music video still matter, or is it losing its importance?
It is very much an integrated part in an overall campaign still, because it is so important to have this visual world that is not just a 15-second TikTok video, but for fans to fully understand the visual world they are trying to